guys, welcome to another episode of Disability Awareness Podcast. My name is Betty Kirote, and this is part 2 of my story. The last episode we ended at where I have just finished my primary school. I've passed well, and now it's time to go to high school. So I was I went to St. Lucy's High School. The same primary school had a high school. So my guardian considered the same because it was closer home, because of convenience and everything. And also I was comfortable going there because you see, it's closer home. It's somehow a familiar environment. So I just joined St. Lucy's High School. And yes, form one was okay. I used to read a lot, but at this point I wouldn't say I could see. I only could perceive some light, like, and maybe shadows. When someone passed by, I could tell like there's a shadow, but clearly I couldn't like see clearly. But again, I had not like fully accepted the this life of being visually impaired. So what I did, I couldn't use a white cane. You know the white cane, the one that persons who are visually impaired used to walk around. So I couldn't touch that thing. I was in denial. Like, I can see. I used to tell myself I can see. Like, why do I need a white cane? So I used to just walk around. The good thing is once you walk, you master your way to the staff room, your way to the dormitory, your way to the dining room, like classroom. I had mastered all that. I could just walk around by myself without knocking things. And yeah, I think also the little light used to help me get around. So that was it. In form one now, form two, I can still perceive the light. But well, at this point, my only focus was education. I really wanted to do well in school. I really wanted to pass. It was always that I always told myself, if I don't do well, life is going to be a little bit difficult. You see, for me, I can't see. You see those other people, like the sighted now people. If you don't do well in school, it does not like necessarily mean you are going to be stuck somehow, because you can start your own business, start selling things. There's a day I said I cannot. You see, some people just start selling. You can start to sell smokies or eggs or something, but for me, I start selling them. Then someone might come and steal them, or or I don't know. You see, the world is also not so good. So yeah, I knew so well I was supposed to bank on academics. So I did that from three, from four. I passed. I did my KCSE and passed so well. At this point, all along, since I stepped my feet on secondary school, I knew I wanted to be a teacher. Like, that was my dream. Maybe it's because my guardian is a teacher. I don't know. But I knew I wanted to be a teacher. But now, when the results came out, I had done well. Like, I had a B plane. And you see, also because of affirmative action, that was a good grade. And people around me were like, oh, if you do education with this grade, I think you will be wasting your effort and everything. So I applied. I asked around. There's a teacher who advised me. They were like, you like talking, you you're good in like your speech and everything. So I would advise you do law. So I was law. Honestly, I did not like the idea. So at some point when as we used to go to apply, I don't know whether it was everyone, but I remember I came to Nairobi to apply for um, university. The way people go to Kenya university and college placement, you apply and select the courses that you want to do. Now on my way, a friend called and he was like, have you applied for university? I was like, no, but I'm headed there. So he was like, what courses do you want to apply? I'm like, I'm going to apply for education and I want to go to Kenyatta University. Hey, that guy was like, are you sure? Then I was like, yes, I want education. Then he was like, no, I just want to advise you, consider doing law. I think that you will be a good lawyer and everything. So I was like, okay, once I get there, I will apply for law. I will consider applying for law. So when I got to COOPS, I did my application. Of course, at this point now, so many people have talked me into it. I applied for law as my first option. I did education as second option, and journalism was the third option. So yeah, after that you go home and wait. So went back home, waited. This is now 2015. Yeah, now it was 2015, beginning of 2015. So stayed home. I had a friend who used to stay uh not so far from like my home, my guardian's home. No, this time you're idle. I just went to visit her. We stayed with her for a while. Now at this place is where I met a good, let's say a good Samaritan. I don't want to mention their names. They are a popular person, and of course they haven't like given me the consent to mention them. So I met that guy, the guy. He's a very popular person. So he was like, what happened to your eyes? I explained. He's like, would you want me to take you to the hospital? Maybe we try again. I was like, yeah, I don't mind. Now this is 2015. It's like 8 years since my first operation. Still I could perceive light, like when you put the lights on, I knew when like there was light in the room and everything. So he was like, considering you can perceive light and sometimes tell colors, then we can try see another doctor and hear whether there is hope. So I accepted, and the guy brought me to Nairobi. He he paid for everything, like he paid for everything. I went, saw a doctor. The doctor was like, after some examination, he was like, we can try a second surgery and see whether the nerve, yes, the nerve is weak, but maybe we can try another surgery and see whether I'm able to see, though not like see like the kind of helping me like read or everything, but help me walk around and tell this is this is a person, this is an object. That was the doctor's like opinion. So we went ahead. I did the second surgery. This is now 2015, around May, April. So I did the surgery. I was very positive. I was like, if I wake up and I am able to see, like I'm able to see even people, I'll be very happy. And I even told the person, once I wake up, you are the first person I want to see." So we did the surgery. The next day I woke up. You see, you're very optimistic. I was like, once they remove this bandage, I am able to see. Well, sad enough, I don't know. Unfortunately, the surgery did not work, so I was a little bit disappointed. But that person was like, "It's okay. At least we tried." So yeah, that was that. I now went back home. You see, it's May. Um, I guess at this point, no, I did not know my university at this point. I had not received any communication. So I went back to Meru. St. Lucy's High School had called me back as a peer teacher. So I went back to in May so that I start now like teaching, helping the young like students there, like you see, when you're around, you can even motivate them and everything. So I went back to St. Lucy's now, this time as a peer teacher. I taught the whole term, that's second term, May, June, July. Then by the time that term ended, I had received now the news for university. And yeah, I was called to Moi University School of Law, Eldoret. So this news, I don't know, I had some feelings. I was happy and sad at the same time. You see, my dream university was Kenyatta University. So, and also Eldoret. I'm like, Eldoret is too far. But when I delivered the news to my guardian, she was like, you're going to Eldoret. Like, we are not changing, we are not starting. My guardian is I would say a very strong and positive person. Nothing shocks her. I don't think there's anything that shocks her. So she was like, Eldoret is far, yes, but you're going there. Who said you can't go to Eldoret? So yeah, she had spoken. So, and when I told now, remember the person who had like paid for my second surgery, I told them have been invited, I've been called to Moi University, Eldoret. That guy was like, but Eldoret is too far. Will you manage? How will you be going there? Because they are a popular person and they have influence. He was like, I let me see what I can do. We get you to University of Nairobi. Then I was like, I was very excited. The thought of coming to University of Nairobi and you see the way people hype it. So I was like, fine, if this works, fine. But when I told my guardian, she was like, no, I want you to go where you've been called. But the guy was still trying. However, for some reason, that did not work. So September came. It was time now to report to Moi. I packed my things. I was very excited, going to campus. Hey, I was very excited. So we packed my things. I remember my guardian and her husband took me to school. So we went. It was a really nice experience. So we went. We came we went to Eldoret. Got there. Got admitted to school. But now when it came for time for them to leave, I think I was just childish. I don't know. So when it was time for them to leave now to come back to Meru and leave me to Eldoret. In Eldoret, I was like, no, who is my neighbor? I asked them, who is my neighbor? Why are you leaving me? Like tomorrow when I wake up, what am I supposed to do? You see, I mean, I've been left, and when I went to Moi had arranged for some accommodation. Like they really tried to accommodate me to the best of their ability. So they had looked for like reserved a room, one that is self-contained, like a bed sitter, let's say a bed sitter. So that, however, the problem with that was that only for theirs used to stay in those hostels. So you're there. This time when you're reporting for theirs are not in school, so I am alone, literally alone. So I'm like, first years were being their hostels were a little bit far from now the fourth years hostels. So I'm like, now I'm here alone. There are no first years. Like you cannot even start connecting with your fellow first years. So I really cried. I cried. I always cry. So my guardian just walked out. She went and knocked to her room. I think she saw the lights were on because it was in the evening. So she knocked. She found a lady in one of the rooms and she just called that lady and she was like, come. That lady came and she was told, you see, this lady, her name is Betty. She cannot see and she's a first year. She will be staying here and I want you to be taking care of her in the meantime. So her name is Ruth. Shout out to you, Ruth. So Ruth was like, it's okay. So she accepted. She was like, it's okay. Everything will be okay. She just like talked to me and yeah, now my guardian went. Everyone left. So I'm left there. Hey, I'm supposed now to start living by myself. This was the first time. You see, as much as I was in a boarding school, in boarding school you have people like in the dorm you share a cube, the cubes there you share with your friends. You are never alone. Hey, here I am alone. It's a new place, it's a new environment. I don't know when I wake up tomorrow what am I supposed to do. So I just slept through the night, but I was very sad. I was very sad. The next morning I woke up. Good thing is the lady now, Ruth, came. She was like, what do you need? I told her, she went, got me breakfast and everything. So I took my breakfast, showered, NTV was coming. I was doing a documentary with NTV at this time. So they came, I went to school. At this time, it's Ruth and now the security officers who are like helping me navigate around. But that day when I went to the office, the administration office, I was like, I am unable to cope alone. You see, now Ruth is a phobia. I told them, if it's possible, can you like help bring for the first years even one to help me around, and also for me now to like uh at least like have someone who is a first year, or someone who is in like someone who we can easily relate. So the office, the school was kind enough. They were like, okay, we will find someone. And yeah, happily and or luckily they brought someone. They found two ladies. They brought them to stay with me. Like they gave them a separate room and everything. So we used to stay with them. They were first years. At this point, life had started being easy, because when you are with another first year, the classes, if you're going for orientation, it's now they pick you, you go for orientation. After orientation, you come back together. Like at this time now, at least I had started settling down. Life was starting, I had started being easy. Yeah, so at least I conquered that. And well, at this point, I would like to say, if you are a person with a disability and you're listening to me, don't be shy to speak out. You see, had I not spoken out and told them I'm not comfortable staying there on my own, like I would like someone who at least is on my level, who at least we can do things together. If I had not said that, they would have assumed I was comfortable. So it's important. Speak out. Just say it. You never know. And most cases, they will like give you or like provide reasonable accommodation for you. So first year, that is first year, first semester. You see, it's not too much going on. So it's, and again, it's more university. So we did our orientations. It was basically orientation, knowing each other. So you going to see hostels, just going around. And it was at this point when I met the person who now turned out to be my best friend. Yeah, we met towards the end of the first semester. Yeah, and at that time, I won't lie, I used to be very stubborn, very stubborn. Like I used to take everything personally and make things. I wanted to be the center of attention. Like if it's in class, I want people to know, to notice me. I don't know. Well, those things I have dealt with them right now, and again, those will be stories for another day. But I was not a very good person. So we met towards the end of that semester. Uh, when the school closed, I remember my friend, now my bestie, her name is Sophie. She was like together with now the one of the ladies who had been brought to assist me. They escorted me. I went to the bus station, took my bus, and came back to Nairobi. Like, yeah, I came back to Nairobi and then went home. That was the first semester. Now, second semester we go back to school. Um, at this time now we have really started connecting with Sophia, but we were not like close. You see, now you've just started knowing each other, and as I have told you, I used to be stubborn, so so it's not like I'm a very good person to stay with. So the first year was not so good. I wouldn't say my experience was so good, but academic wise, I used to read. The school had accommodated me well, provided materials, everything that I needed, brailler, someone to transcribe my work. So academic wise, I did not have problems. Social wise, there was a problem because you see, even the ladies who were assisting me, I could just send them to go buy things. If I'm not in class, I'm in my house. So that was not a very good life. But later on, now it's a second year, third year, I've adopted. We are friends with Sophie. So we used to go to town together, buy things, come back home. Like life was just fun. And I normally say she really made my campus life interesting because she was a part of it. She never left me. You see, the way people tell you, just stay here. I go like buy this and bring to you. No, she used to be like, we go, what are you doing? We go, we are going together. So she really, even if it's in the market, she was like, no, we are going together. I'm not leaving you. So we used to go together everywhere. We buy things. Like you couldn't see her without me. We were like twins. There are people who even used to ask us, are you sisters? Like we were really close. She made my campus life very, very, very interesting. Yeah, and yeah, we pushed, we did our exams. We used to read together and everything. I also got another friend. Her name is Lillian. So we were like now a group. The three of us were really close. We study together. We go to class together. If Sophia is not around, Lillian is around to go with me to school. If we have some research work, we do together. They really helped me. Those two ladies, I owe my academic success. I would say to them, they really supported me. So I did my we studied. We Well, the good thing is all of us were not like focused. We loved studies, all of us. So we studied, we finished, graduated. Yeah, and when came to Nairobi in 2020 for Kenya School of Law. Now this is 2020. We are joining Kenya School of Law. Well, at this, I would want to say I was not so keen on joining Kenya School of Law at first. Um, I don't know. I used to struggle with self doubt. I always had that feeling of, am I good enough? Will I manage? Who will even employ me? Those were the questions I used to ask myself every day. Am I like good enough? Who will hire me? How will I do my pupillage? Those who are in the legal profession understand that getting pupillage is not easy, and it's even harder when you are now someone who is blind like me. Like I used to be like, yes, I'll go to school, I'll pass, but who will employ me? What will I do with my life? So 2020 was a very difficult year for me. At first, now you see now also raising the money for Kenya School of Law was difficult. KSL is expensive, very expensive. So what happened is after graduation, we've graduated in December of 2019. KSL is January of 2020. Like registration is in January of 2020. So I had told at this time my guardian was sick. Some stories will catch you up on another episode, but this one is strictly on my academics, so please bear with me. So at this time, my guardian is really sick. She she couldn't even come for my graduation, and when I came back home after graduation, I told her about KSL. She was like, we will find a way. As I said, she's positive. So she was like, we will find a way to get there. Something I didn't mention is when I was in campus, I used to struggle financially. So I was of course getting help, but any person who has ever studied like and dependent on help, you know that help does not normally doesn't come on time. So there are those times that you don't have money, help has not disparted the money, so you are like stranded. So I really used to struggle until 2017. I would say 2017, after my documentary with NTV was out. The journalist who did that documentary, his name is Andrew Ochieng. Um, like, how do I tell you this story? There's a time I wanted to leave school. Let me just come out clean. So when I was in second year, there's a time I wanted to leave school because I felt like life was too much. I did not understand myself. If there's a part of my life where I never knew who I was while I was in campus. I had a lot of issues, identity crisis, struggling to fit in. You know how campus is. So I there's a point where I was like, me, I'm not doing this anymore. So I even after going home for holiday in 2017, yeah, after the elections, I was like, will I be going back to school? I never told anyone, except a friend. There's a friend that I confided in. I told him I don't think I want to continue because life is difficult. I think I was depressed and I didn't know. So he was like, don't leave school. Good thing is he knew Andrew. See, at this time the documentary was out. So he was like, don't leave school, uh we will find like something to do. You can't miss food or like something. We will be like providing where we can, helping where we can. But me, I was like, I'm done. So when I went home, I lied. I lied that I had to attend some event in Nairobi, which was disability related. So my guardian released me to come to come to Nairobi. I went to Cooperative University. There's a friend of mine who used to study there. I did not tell her why I am there, but I didn't want to go back to school. So I stayed there for a while. Luckily, and also at some point, because now I cannot continue staying with her at the hostels and everything, I left. A good thing I had talked to now the friend of mine who knew I didn't want to go back to school. So I told him, I don't want to go back to school and I don't see myself staying at Cooperative University any longer. So he was like, I have my sister who stays alone. I can talk to her. You go and stay with her for a while. So he arranged. I went to stay at the sister's place. You see, now at this time, we were supposed to be going back now to school for third year. Yes. Hey, and like, he told me you stay there as we try to figure things out. So I went and stayed with the sister, for a while. But while I was there, kumbe, this guy had went behind my back and called Andrew, now the journalist. Hey, Andrew called me. He was like, "Where are you?" I told him, I don't know how to lie, by the way. When I lie, you will know because I laugh. So, so I told Andrew, I'm in Nairobi. I'm staying at this and this place. I don't think I have the capacity to go back to school and continue. And then I explained some of the things that were bothering me. Of course, the biggest issue was finances and everything. So he was like, myself, I'm sending you fare. I'm sending you money. You go back to school. And also, I'm sending you myself, now him and his person, they will be sending me money for upkeep every month. So I should not be worried about what to eat and what not. So I went back to school. I had no now there are no more excuses. So I went back to Eldoret, continued with schooling and finished. The reason I brought this up is because it's relevant in now my 2020 year. So fast forward now to 2020. Now I'm in KSL. There's no money. I asked Andrew. At this point, Andrew was no longer in Kenya. He had found greener pastures and left Kenya. So I informed him. Andrew was helped a lot with trying to find someone to sponsor my KSL. We're looking for people. I was also actively looking. I even went to speak to my member of parliament, and yeah, he helped. But now a miracle happened. You see, towards the end, the end of, I think the registration, KSL registration was almost coming to an end, and I had not found any means to join school. So towards the end, I think it was just one weekend now towards the following week was supposed to be the end of registration. So we are here. My bestie now, Sophie. Sophie is also struggling to raise money for her KSL. She had done some fundraising and everything. So we are both struggling. So no one is even in a better place to help the other. So she had raised the first 70%, I guess, to join. But I was here now. Good enough. Like luckily, she came across a post. There was an advocate who was sponsoring. She just wanted one person to sponsor to KSL. Now my friend texts me and she's like, there is this advocate who is offering a sponsorship to KSL. Would you like me to apply for you? So I told her, yes, you can apply for me for the scholarship. So Sophie went ahead. You are supposed to write a story. I tell you, she's such a wonderful friend. So she just wrote a brief story. She knows my everything about me. So she just wrote a story explaining my situation, my circumstances, my guardian is sick, all those things, and I did not have any money for KSL. Yeah, so the advocate who was giving scholarships was so touched and so moved by my story, and she called me the same day we applied. She called. I remember it was on a Saturday. She called me. She was like, "Hi, how are you? I have read your story. I am so inspired, and I want to sponsor you to Kenya School of Law." I was like, oh my God, thank you so much. I was so excited. I remember that I was attending some event at the Kenya Society for the Blind, and I just started jumping all over. I was so happy. So she was like, send me your transcripts and everything, and also send me the KSL admission form, or what is it called? The one which has the fees and everything. So I sent her everything. My friend sent her everything. Me, I was at an event. So I called my friend, I told her the good news, and she sent the transcripts and everything. And that is how I got a scholarship to Kenya School of Law. Hey, now, you see, now we are done with that part of school fees. But KSL is in Nairobi, Karen. So in Karen, accommodation is very expensive. So like finding even a place to live is problematic. So we went around. We were the lady now, the advocate who gave me the scholarship was like, go find a house so that we secure you a place. I don't want you to miss classes. So if you're able to go now, look for a house. I'll pay the first amount, the first deposit and everything so that you start. I was very honest. I told her I don't know how I'll go about it after that because there's no one to help me with the rent and everything. She was like, you go look for a house. Those other things will take care of themselves. Oh, we came to Karen. If I said we came, someone would think I'm in Karen right now. We went to Karen, looked for a house. The houses were super expensive and not so close to school. And living to school was not an option because they prohibit cooking and everything. And you see, as someone who is not like financially stable, it was not like a good option for me. So we opted now to go to Rongai. 3/4 of KSL stays in in Rongai. So we came to Rongai, looked for a house, we found a house. It was close to the road and everything. We found my house, we paid. And then we went now and looked for a house for my friend, not too far from my place, because you see in the morning she would be picking me up, and then we go to school together. So at least now we found houses. After that, I went back to Meru. Yeah, I talked my MP. My MP had promised to give me money, so he was like, "I'm giving you 50,000." He gave me cash. This is the money now that I use to settle, like to buy things, start off, and of course it would push me for a few months here and there. And the other amount was supposed to be bursary. So you see, bursaries come as check. That one, it's not like you cannot be given cash, but it came in handy at some point later during KSL. So I used the money to settle. We started school, did the first like 6 weeks, then COVID came in March. And remember, this time I used to struggle a lot. I don't know. Only I would say if you've ever gone to KSL, you know how difficult it is. There's a lot of pressure, and now that pressure is I used to feel that pressure a lot because there's a lot to read. There's a lot of traveling from Rongai to school. There's also a lot of like it's a new environment. You are not like conversant, but well, my friends used to help a lot. So Kesel, that year I was so stressed. I was depressed. That is, I came to realize later it was depression. So by the time COVID came, I was like so burnt out. I did not even have the energy. I used to think about quitting a lot. One thing that really used to disturb me was fear of failure, because I was like, there so many people have invested in my education, in my life. There is someone who's paid the entire school fees. Someone else, like Andrew now, used to send me fare, like for to go to school. He used to send me money for transport. So I'm like, you see, these people have sacrificed a lot. Will I pass? Everyone, the reputation about KSL is not so good. Everyone tells you how it is difficult, how majority of the people don't pass at on first attempt. So I was like, now I'm going to fail, and I will have disappointed so many people, and my life will be over. And at the same time, I'm struggling with after this, will I even get pupillage? Which law firm will accept me? I don't know. I just used to have those thoughts a lot. So sometimes I would just wake up and I'm like, I'm not going to school because I don't have the energy. My mental health was in the dustbin. So uh, after now COVID came, this was for me it was a blessing in disguise. I was very happy for the break. So we took a break. I did not want to go home. Of course, you see now, if you're battling depression and you don't know you are depressed or at the same time, so I was like, I don't want to go home. I want to stay. So Sophia, at this point, she's also tired. You see, you can, in as much as somebody cares for you, there's that point that they get to a point where they're like, they don't know what to do anymore with you. So she went home, of course. So I was left in Rongai. I stayed for like 2 3 days. I was just sleeping. I couldn't eat. Just sleeping in my bed. No eating, no cooking, no nothing. Just staying there. Then one day, it was on a Tuesday, one of my sisters called me and she was like, "What do you think you are doing staying in Nairobi when there is COVID? How about if you become sick, and also you see if you don't go home right now and maybe you go home later, you might infect." You see now my guardian, the disease the that she had at that time, had really affected her immunity. So it's a matter of you go home, you expose now you're like exposing her to these other like diseases and everything, and you know already her immunity is compromised. So my after now she talked to me, I was like, what am I doing? So I accepted to go home, just took a bus, went to town, then went to Thika Road at the other sister. You will hear so many sisters. There was a vehicle there which was going to Meru, and yeah, I went back. I went back now with the people who were going home. There were some family members who were around, so we went back home. Yeah, and it was during this time, this COVID time, that I discovered myself. I normally say, were it not for that break, I don't know what would have become of me, because I that time I used to read a lot, but at first when I went home, I used to lock myself in a room and in the bedroom, stay there the whole day, not talk to anyone. The only time I come out is when maybe I'm going to pick something to eat. My sisters are at home. I was not helping with anything. I remember there's a day we were just having supper, and now the mzai asked, he was like, Kwani Betty stopped talking, like he does not speak anymore. I just laughed. You see, at this time, I don't want to talk. I don't want anything because he barely saw me, and I'm at home. But now, and at this time, I have left WhatsApp. I have left WhatsApp, so my friend is not able to find me. My boyfriend is not able to find me. I used to have a boyfriend. My boyfriend is not able to find me. And I put my phone off all the time. So they are like, what is happening with this woman? So I have just blocked everyone out. I'm just by myself. Home. Um, I stayed like that for a while, for a few days. Then I started listening. There's a YouTube channel that I used to like so much. So one day, it was on a Sunday. Me, I'm just lying down in my bed, and I'm like, let me watch some YouTube. So I started watching that channel. That lady, I don't want to mention them. So they were talking about how someone had asked them what they do to cope. Or to keep positive in life, and they were responding, and then they tagged a certain podcast and a certain pastor. So I started now listening to. I searched, like, immediately went and searched for that podcast, and then I found that episode where the lady was advising on books someone can read to improve on their lives and everything. I picked one. I picked one. I was like, I can try read this book. It's called You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay. So I was like, I'm going to read this book. So, but I did not know how to get it, and I did not want anything that stresses me. So, and at this time, I was not so much conversant with the technology, or how even to navigate my way through technology, my phone. I did not know there were audiobooks or such. So at this time now, hey, I reach out to my boyfriend. I'm like, kindly help me find this book. I texted him the details and everything. Well, he came through. He looked for the book and sent me the PDF. So I started reading my book. I started healing my life from that day. So I started reading that book. At this point now, as I continue reading the book, I'm also like getting some motivation, becoming positive. I started listening to Joe Austin, his preachings and everything. Yeah, and that was how I got back to life, because at that time, life was tough. So I I picked myself up. The book really helped me a lot. So I could write my thoughts down. You see, those there are questions there that they ask, some affirmations that you do, and all those things. So I did all those things. I started becoming alive again, helping at home, doing everything. Like time passed by, and now it was June. Kenya School of Law has already now started making plans. I did not want us to go back to school. I dreaded that thought of going back to school, but now it came a time where it was inevitable. They started planning for us doing online classes, but I was like, online, like sounds good. So June came towards the end of June. I came back to Nairobi. COVID was still there, but not at this time. I think it had slowed down a bit. It was not as people. Well, it was scary, but yeah, I came back to Nairobi. Came to Rongai, stayed in my home. Now I used to waiting for the online classes to start to begin. So in July, I think July, we started online classes. July or August, I don't remember. We started online classes. At this time, at least I understand myself. I am positive. uh, Again, there's no traveling, so at least that time that we used to travel, I used it to read. And then there are also during the COVID, now the 3 months that I was at home, I used to catch up a lot on some classwork, the courses that I used to feel like, this one, if I don't put effort, this one I'm going to fail. So I used to catch up with some things. So I felt like I was ready now, like to face the school life. We did the online classes, we did our oral, did everything, did our exams in June, April or June 2021. I passed all of them. And then fortunately, I had applied for pupillage. Not my me, my friends have really helped me. They are a blessing. The law firm that I went to, I am not the one who even applied for it. A friend of mine, Lillian, my friend Lillian, um, knew a guy who used to work at that law firm. So she was like, this law firm is really nice. You see, also her, she understands. For me, her being in a very like toxic environment would like impact me negatively. So she was like, I have talked to this person and they say this law firm is really nice, let's apply, let's try the law firm. So we tried the law firm and I was taken. This was a miracle. Betty going to work in a law firm, something that I never thought I would ever do. So I got my pupillage in a law firm, a very nice law firm. It was nice. I used to do my work well, no pressure, no. It was just a good environment. I did my pupillage, finished my pupillage, got admitted in 2022. Yeah, and here I am right now as an advocate of the High Court of Kenya. Yes, what I would say now, like now my take homes are um as you've heard, I have had it tough. Like it was really tough. Majority of my story can tell you that I have just been through a lot. Like what it takes is perseverance and resilience. Like you know what you want. One thing I know is that I have never given up on academics. I always knew this is my only way out. Like if I want to be able to take care of myself, if I want to stop depending on people, if I want to give myself a life, I have to do well in school. I've always believed that for myself. So if you are listening to this podcast and you are someone, you are a young girl or young boy somewhere who is maybe with a disability, don't quit. Don't stop pushing. Like life gets better at some point. And also embrace like where people, if people offer to support you, accept and allow people to support you, because in as much, but don't be like me. You see me, I used to be a bad person. I gave my friends a hard time, but they never gave up on me. So just be positive. I would say learn from my story, be positive, keep on pushing. It gets better with time. Also, if you are a caregiver or a parent with a child who is with a disability, the best thing you can do to that child is support them. Take them to school. See, my guardian did not have the finances, or she never knew how it would turn out, but she believed, like, she always saw the potential in me. And through that, like, going to school, I went to school, studied. Like, people always come through, like, also when you're doing well, when you're performing, there is always someone. Because while in my primary school, I got a scholarship. Yes, the deputy principal was the one who looked for an organization to sponsor me, because he understood my story, and he also knew, he had seen my potential and my performance. So there will always be people to support you. If you're a parent, take them to school. You just take them to school, do your part, support them where you can. And there are kind people outside here, and they come through at some point. Yeah, that is what I would like to end this episode with. Thank you so much for watching, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.